In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you. Oh, dear me.
Coming up, officers acting on instinct make a startling discovery.
You get to know what's normal, and so when you get something that's unusual, it sticks out.
On a flight from Barbados, one passenger has something to hide.
Looks like there's a concealment here, underneath the corner.
We're looking at about 2 kilos, probably.
And in Gatwick's freight terminal, one officer learns to never judge a book by its cover.
Pages have been glued together and hollowed out to reveal cocaine.
It's early morning at Gatwick Airport. In the North Terminal, a flight has just touched down from Port of Spain in Trinidad and Tobago. With flights from the Caribbean known to be a popular transit route for drug smugglers, officers use various methods to check passengers arriving in the country. One male passenger has been stopped in the customs channels. He claims to be a student and has come to the UK to visit his aunt. Officers question him further about his travel plans.
Sorry, I heard my colleagues say that somebody helped you pay for your ticket? Yeah. Who paid for your ticket? Your aunt in Trinidad. Okay. Wow, so you got a club ticket. So you sat in club. How much did you pay?
7,100 TTC.
What's that in sterling?
I don't know.
Roughly, you know?
It goes like £600.
£600, wow. For a club ticket, that's good.
But this wasn't the man's original ticket.
So the first ticket was a return ticket.
Which I couldn't follow back.
So you couldn't follow that back because you were late.
Yeah.
Do you have your return ticket with you?
No, I don't have that here.
Okay. All right. Just going to get an iron track for you.
Yeah.
Not much baggage there, is there? You got no other baggage?
No.
That was it?
That's all.
Wow, travelling light. The guy's come in from a week's trip to Trinidad. He's a student here, so he's obviously not earning lots of money. His baggage doesn't support the fact that he could travel as a club passenger, and so it just doesn't look like a very good story at the moment, but we'll see. I'm just going to do a narcotics swab. Have you used any drugs while you've been away? No. Okay.
Officer Andy swabs each of the man's bags to see if he's come into contact with any drugs. The swab comes back negative, but a concerned Andy still isn't happy.
It just doesn't tie together, so we're going to search him. We've got sufficient grounds to search him, and then we're going to consider whether we want to put him through the X-ray to see if he's got anything inside him.
The man is taken to a private room to be searched. But after finding nothing, Andy decides to follow his instinct and take the man for an X-ray.
You get to know what's normal, and so when you get something that's unusual, it sticks out.
The man agrees to do a full body scan. Officers will find out shortly whether their hunch about the student passenger was correct. At Birmingham Airport, hundreds of passengers are waiting to board planes for worldwide destinations. In the departure lounge, passengers carrying cash are being stopped to ensure they have no links to criminal activity.
Right, where does this money come from?
Officers have the power to question passengers carrying over €1,000 in cash, and anything over €10,000 must be declared. A couple waiting to board a flight to Dubai have been stopped. The male passenger has admitted to carrying £3,000 in cash, and officers want to find out more.
So you show me the money so I can have a wee look at it. In total, sir, you told me you had £3,000. There is more than that here, and now we have another 2 envelopes. Right, I asked you how much money in total, no? Right, so whose money is this?
Mine.
Right, so that's your money, and this is your money. Okay? Do you know how much you have in here, sir?
Officer Dell steps in as a translator.
Between this one. So when I asked you how much you had and you said 3, and you've got 5 here and 4 here, that would have been a lie then, sir. Is there any more money in this bag? Okay, just leave it, I'll check it.
Having been lied to already, officers want to search the bags for themselves.
Did you forget about this money? Right, but can you say to him, I asked him had he any more money and he said no, this is obviously money.
As the money keeps on coming, officers need to find out where it's all come from.
So is he working?
The man explains that he doesn't work and his wife only works part-time. The thousands of pounds suddenly look decidedly dodgy.
What bank account did he take the money from? Does he have the card or a receipt? And let him know that I'm going to phone the bank and check he's telling me the truth. Can you show me his wallet?
The man's bank card will be used to run checks, but as he hands over his wallet, even more cash is discovered.
How much is in here?
That's more money from, probably more money from the relatives.
The evasive answers are starting to become frustrating.
What I'm looking at is to get as a source of the cash just now. But if I wasn't working, I wouldn't have £8.5 in my pocket.
As the flight time approaches, officers urgently need some answers about where the money has come from, or the couple risk having all of their cash seized. Back at Gatwick, a student passenger from Trinidad and Tobago, who's suspected of swallowing packages of drugs, has agreed to an X-ray of his body.
And breathe out. All the way and stop. Stand still, stand still, stand still. Okay, you can start breathing again.
The results come back immediately.
And I would say that this gentleman is full of packages.
Caught red-handed, the man looks resigned to his fate.
We've got a swallower in the North Terminal off the Port of Spain. He's just had an X-ray, just confessed to swallowing 60-odd packages, and we'll be bringing him over very shortly.
With potentially lethal packages inside him, the man's safety is now the main concern.
All I would say to you is that the sooner you can get rid of these packages from inside of you, the better. It's obviously very dangerous for you to have them inside you. Okay? You all right? Okay. He's asked to go to the toilet, so we shall take him into our special toilet suite. We'll have to sit and watch him, unfortunately, and hopefully he'll start the process of producing packages.
The toilet the man will use is a special facility that will collect any packages he passes, so they can be cleaned and kept as evidence. And it doesn't take long for him to start producing the goods.
There is one package there that you've just produced. I have to tell you that is now seized as forfeit. Quite clean, but he's obviously struggling. It's quite a big package. So he now wants to have something to eat and drink to try and force the natural process. Could be up to 5 grams a package if they're all that sort of size. So half a kilo Coke, something like that, inside him.
Half a kilo of cocaine is worth approximately £25,000. It's a sizable discovery for the officers, but a very dangerous pursuit for the man.
We have a duty of care just to keep an eye on him and make sure that if we see anything untoward, we can get there very quickly.
All they can do now is wait for nature to take its course. Back in Birmingham, officers are still trying to establish the origins of £8,500 in cash that a couple are carrying in their hand luggage.
If he only gets £48 a week, he'll be in income support.
The couple's income from benefits and a part-time job don't even cover their monthly outgoings.
Is there a mortgage? Is there a mortgage at Hardicolo?
672?
Yeah. Otherwise, money's coming from them.
Officers are struggling to understand how the couple could have saved such a substantial amount of cash.
He's only on benefits, so
Very little money coming in.
to have £8.5 grand with that amount of money coming in, it doesn't seem
That's a
plausible.
lot of money.
Anyone claiming benefits in the UK must inform the Department for Work and Pensions when going abroad.
Has he notified the DWP's travelling today?
Was it this year? DWP this year? No, it's not informed me.
Okay. Don't worry, we'll let them know. If you get their national insurance numbers, I'll phone DWP and check.
Concerned that they may be defrauding the UK tax system, officers will leave no stone unturned in their checks of the couple.
I've got a guy just now stopped him. He initially had $3,000. He's now up to $8,500. He's on benefit. The money doesn't even kind of match up. I'm thinking of just doing a referral with DWP after speaking to them, but I just want to check with you before I let them go.
Officers wouldn't want the couple to miss their flight unnecessarily, so if the fraud investigation team agree, the couple will be investigated on their return.
Okay, cheers boss, thanks. Bye-bye.
With permission granted, the couple are allowed to continue their journey, but will be asked further questions on their return.
If we can prove a link to the money, if it comes from a proceed of crime, then we would seize the cash. There's no direct proof there that the gentleman's committed any offence. It was just the fact he lied initially that drew my suspicions.
With seconds to spare, the couple eventually make their flight to Dubai.
Bye-bye.
Coming up, a man with someone else's credit cards is given a lesson in international law.
What's a crime here?
It's a crime anywhere in the world. No, they're not your credit cards.
Coming up, in Gatwick, a crude attempt at cocaine smuggling.
This concealment is a bit of an old-fashioned one, really. I mean, we've got about 2.5 to 3 kilos of cocaine.
At Gatwick Airport's South Terminal, a flight has arrived from Bridgetown in Barbados. As a known source area for the production of Class A drugs, border agency officers are scanning suitcases to search for any illegal substances. In the airport's custody suite, one male passenger from the flight has been arrested on suspicion of bringing a controlled drug into the country. The X-ray has revealed hidden concealments in the corners of his suitcases.
So I'm a custody officer. Okay, my role here is to ensure you're given your rights. Do you have any comments?
Just that I was unaware that what I brought through.
Officer Niels takes the 2 suspect suitcases away to be examined further.
This bag came off the British Airways flight from Bridgetown this morning, and while the bags were being unloaded, became suspicious about the riveting on the sides of the case. They don't look original. If you have a look here, a bit closer, you'll see there's a ridge here, which is quite thick. Normally they wouldn't be like as thick as that.
The contents of the suitcase are removed to get a better look at the hidden concealments. Photographic evidence is taken of the discoveries.
Looks like there's a concealment here underneath the corner. There's a black package.
And with a similar package found in every corner, the second case also needs to be examined for hidden concealments.
Okay, right. Go. So we'll just see what we suspect is in here. If you look closer, you can actually see where they've taken the original screws out and they put new bolts in, rivets in. You see it all the way around.
As the man waits in a cell to find out what his fate may be, officers conduct a field test on the substance found in the suitcases.
If it's what we think it's going to be cocaine, hydrochloride. The reaction would be a turquoise blue colour. There we are. And you can see it straight away. There we are. There's a nice reaction there. We think there's probably a reasonable amount, so about a kilogram in each case. So we're looking at about 2 kilos probably.
2 kilos of cocaine has an approximate street value of £100,000. It was an audacious attempt at smuggling a huge amount of drugs. The man was eventually taken to court and, despite pleading not guilty, was sentenced to 7 years in prison. At Gatwick's North Terminal, another flight has just come in from the Caribbean.
Hey guys, you just go through single file right over to the right-hand side for me, please.
With a spate of recent drug seizures, passengers from Jamaica are rigorously checked by drug detection dogs as they disembark the flight. Border agency officers working in immigration have become suspicious of one male passenger's reasons for entering the country, so he's taken aside for questioning.
Who gave you that suitcase? Who gave you that? What was his name? Sorry? Danny.
The passenger appears nervous, so Officer Paul wants to find out the true nature of his visit to the UK.
Do you have any goods to declare? Okay, if you want to pop your bag up here for me, please. You've come in from Nicaragua. You flew to Panama.
Yes.
Then you went to Kingston.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do whilst you were in Kingston?
Just stayed one night.
Yeah.
Then I took the taxi. Then I came out to the airport.
Okay, and this case, was it given to you in Nicaragua?
Yes.
Why didn't you use your own case?
It was too small. Didn't have too much space to put everything.
Right, okay.
The man told immigration he came to the UK to visit his fiancée, but Paul wants to know more details.
So what are you going to do whilst you're here?
Just visiting, know my fiancé family.
When did you get engaged? What month?
For months, March.
When you get out of here today, where are you going to?
I'm going to Silverstone by car with my brother-in-law, Sarah.
So they're waiting for you outside?
Yes, but I have to. Yeah, but I have to pay the gas.
You have to what?
Pay the gas. Petrol.
Yeah, you have to pay the petrol.
Yes.
So who's actually picking you up?
Sarah.
Sarah's picking you
Sarah
up?
and David.
Your fiance's picking you up?
Yes, Sarah.
And you have to pay the petrol? Right, okay. I'm just going to have a quick look at your bag then.
A routine search of the man's bag is carried out. With his suspicious story, Paul wants to rule out the possibility he's carrying any drugs.
And how much did your ticket cost you to fly to the UK?
1,100.
1,100 US dollars.
Yes.
And where did you get that money from?
From working. I have to sell out to become money from here.
Sold everything.
The man continues to be quizzed about his visit to the UK, but his answers to basic questions are still unconvincing.
How long have you known her for?
2 years and a half.
3.5 years?
Yes, no, 2 years. 2 years and a half.
How long?
2 years. I met her on the 30th of December of 1998.
1998?
Yeah.
1998?
Yeah.
That's 12 years ago.
No, sorry, 2008.
2008.
Nothing unusual has been found in the man's bag, but his nervous behavior and story discrepancies make officers suspect he may not be telling the truth.
You use drugs at all? No, never.
You could use my blood and test it.
Okay. Are you happy to have an X-ray?
An X-ray?
Yeah, just to make sure you haven't swallowed anything.
Like here?
No, an X-ray, a scan, body X-ray.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Yes, no problem. You could scan, no problem.
I'm thinking now it's probably more likely to be an immigration issue. So we're going to do a quick SOP on him, a quick scan, just to make sure there's nothing, and then take him back to immigration.
In a few minutes, any goods the passenger may be hiding on his body will be revealed. It's not just passengers that the border agency search for drugs. In the freight terminal, an illegal concealment has been found in some packages from South America.
Okay, what we have here is a courier package. It's coming from, appears to be a private individual going to a company in London. 3 old books in total. Pages have been glued together and hollowed out to reveal a package of cocaine.
A field test is conducted to confirm the substance definitely is cocaine.
Some cocaine out. Should go a lovely turquoise colour. Oh, there we go. This concealment is a bit of an old-fashioned one, really. I haven't seen this for quite a while. I mean, we've got about 2.5 to 3 kilos of cocaine.
But something else has been found amongst the packages.
They've done a letter to try and give it some credibility. Dear Stephen, things here are very difficult anyway. We keep working and trying to survive. The other 15 books you asked me, I'm searching for them. Greeting to Tony and Steffi. Big hug. And as long as I find the other books, I'll be sending them to you. So maybe they'll have another go.
It's a seizure worth over £100,000.
Further inquiries will be made into the background of this, and consideration will be made whether it can be done under a controlled delivery. and see if anyone can be picked up, arrested and charged for the importation.
Back at Gatwick's North Terminal, officers speaking to a passenger from Nicaragua have discovered another reason to doubt the legitimacy of his visit to the UK.
Who's Giselle McCoy then? Who is Giselle? Giselle, is it? McCoy?
It's like something in our work.
But whose is it?
Find it. I don't know.
You found them?
Yeah.
That's not really an explanation, is it?
That's a crime here?
There's a crime anywhere in the world.
No.
They're not your credit cards.
Like, for example, if somebody finds my credit card, he cannot use it. My bank won't pay.
If someone finds your credit card, they can use it.
No, they cannot. My bank.
You haven't come up and given me a reasonable explanation as to why you have 3 credit cards and named somebody else. Okay?
With more holes in the man's story, it's hoped that a body search will provide some answers.
Just going to do a quick search person. We need to search you. Make sure you're not carrying anything you shouldn't be, okay?
Jamaica?
No, here, we're going to search you here.
The passenger reveals that he's already been subjected to a body search at the start of his journey in Jamaica, as they too thought he was suspicious.
It's only going to be a rub down. I'm just going to rub your body down, okay? Just make sure you haven't got anything on you.
Yeah.
And if you pass me your shoes.
A routine swab test will be done on his shoes, but officers are more concerned by what they've already found.
He's got 3 credit cards in the name of another lady, and he can't come up with any explanation as to why he's got them. And he's pretty much refusing to answer as to why he's got them as well. He just keeps saying he's found them, and then he said he knew the woman. So it's negative.
A negative reading suggests he's not carrying any packages, but his story is suspicious enough to put him through the X-ray.
Just stand facing that way when I say go. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Breathe out.
Despite the man's nervous behaviour, as the scanned images come through, it's clear he's no drug smuggler.
Can't see anything now, can you?
No. I'd say it's clear.
Okay, that's clear. We're going to take you back upstairs to the immigration officer now, okay? So I'm going to hold on to this in the meantime, all right, and hand it to them, okay?
With nothing found on the scan, the man is escorted back to immigration. He was eventually denied entry into the UK and was deported back to Jamaica the following day. The Trinidadian student who smuggled drugs inside his body eventually passed 62 packages and was sentenced to 6 years in prison.